This is our top 5 most anticipated movies of 2024. And before we get into our top 5, we're going to go through some honorable mentions.
Movies that just didn't quite make my top 5 most anticipated movies of 2024. Really in no particular order was the ISS movie, the Fall Guy movie, which a big draw from Ryan Gosling after a performance of Ken and Barbie last year, and Venom 3. Those 3 did not quite make my list, but those are definitely movies I still want to see this year, but they just didn't quite make my top 5.
Yeah, some honorable mentions for me that didn't make my list is Deadpool 3. I have not been a big fan of the Deadpool movies, but I am excited to see the crossover with possibly Wolverine in that. Looks great. Gladiator 2 has my interest for sure. Argyle has looked okay. Imaginaries looks like a movie that might be good. And Joker is interesting, but they did not make my list. So let's get to number 5.
Checking in at number 5 on my list is A Quiet Place Day One. This is one that I really didn't know about coming into the year, but really a long time ago until just recently I found out about this movie. And I was a big fan of the first one. The second one was okay, but it's the lore that really has my interest the most. And if this is expanding that, then I'm all in. And it's also part of a subplot in this universe that we really haven't seen much of, which is what built this world. Both movies really take place during it, but this one's supposed to basically get into what happened on day one. So looking forward to it, but it's at number 5.
Number 5 for me is Smile 2. I would have put this higher, but for horror movies, after the Night Swim disaster, I can't put a horror movie any higher than 5. It had to be on this list because I'm so excited for it. The first Smile is one of the best horror movies I've seen in theaters and in general. I'm so flipping excited for this movie. It has so much potential, but I know with these horror movies, you can't set the bar high. I'm not going to be that. I can't set it high. I'm so excited for it. It's on this list, and I'm excited for Smile 2, but it can't go any higher than number 5 on this list.
Clocking in at number 4 on my list is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. This one is definitely one that I'm pretty surprised about, because after the third one, War for the Planet of the Apes, the director said that this was the last one. There's going to be no more movies in this universe, so I really believed it. And my lack of kind of looking up this universe since the last one, really, I had no idea that this movie was even in production. So I'm really excited. It looks very on par with what the last 3 were as far as special effects go. Now, I'm not exactly sure what the storyline's going to be, but I'm definitely interested. I'm really excited to see this movie, and I really want to see what ties you can see in the movies go. The back 3, because obviously there's Rise, Dawn, and then War, and I really want to see what they do with this franchise. And is this like the beginning of a lot more to come, or is this just kind of a standalone in this universe? But this is definitely one that, without a doubt, is in my top 5 anticipated movies of 2024.
So number 4 for me is going to be Venom 3. I liked the first Venom, thought it was a solid movie. The second one was just okay, kind of disappointing. It had a lot of potential. And Venom 3, though, is on this list for a couple of reasons. Venom is a very cool character. He has a lot of potential. He's an awesome, just big, kind of like a Hulk character. Is really deadly, is kind of anti-hero. It's a really cool concept. I always remember, obviously, having the action figures of him as a kid. But the main reason this is on this list is because I know there's rumors of Spider-Man crossing over. Spider-Man and Venom being on the screen is something that would be awesome to see. And there's no doubt that's the reason it's on this list. I like Eddie Brock's actor. His actor has done a very good job with that character in Venom. A lot of things to look forward to. The Spider-Man crossover is a big deal, and that's why it makes it on this list at number 4.
Number 3 on my list is Smile 2. It was Kenny's number 5. Smile 2 I'm really excited for. The first one was an absolute classic and probably one of the best horror movies in the definitely the last year, but possibly 2 years. There's been not very many great or even very good horror movies recently, and the first Smile was just a very unsettling, really creepy type movie, and I wanted to see a sequel, and I was like, this is probably one of those movies you'll never get to see a sequel to it. But they made a sequel to it. I've seen no poster, no trailers for it, so I don't know what to expect in this one. But if they can continue what they did in the first one, that will be a really, really cool storyline. And now there's concerns I obviously have with it, but if they go a certain direction and kind of carry off or build off the last one, this has the potential to be one of the best movies of the entire year. And I have really high expectations for this one just because of how good the last one was. And it made me, Kenny, and Max, who you've seen on the channel, all jump at the same time, which that says a lot.
Number 3 on my list is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah, so like Jake was saying, this is a really good trilogy that has already happened. It was a great trilogy with the Planet of the Apes following Caesar. But this movie is going to be a good test of whether this series can continue, because you were following the kind of storyline of Caesar, an amazing CGI character, one of the best CGI characters ever. So we're going to see if this can continue. The visual effects look absolutely top-notch once again. But can they start another trilogy with some new interesting characters? We're going to find out. I'm really excited for it. The trailer looked great. And I'm very excited to see where this movie can go.
At number 2 on my list is Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire. This one here is, I mean, if you follow this channel, you obviously know that we are huge fans of just kaiju movies in general, but definitely the MonsterVerse. And it's crazy that I even think about it now. As it used to be like, oh, this is the 3rd, this is the 4th movie, but now we're at, I want to say number 5. But no, this movie, from the very first announcement of it, I've been absolutely hyped about it. From the poster to the first teaser trailer where you saw this massive Kong-looking thing sitting in his lair, to the first trailer. Now, I may not want to watch any more trailers. I might honestly, unless we're reacting to it for the channel, I'm not going to watch anything or look it up, because this movie, once again, if they do it the right way, if they focus on the kaijus, if they create a good storyline, as we saw in Godzilla Minus One, it doesn't have to always just be the kaijus. This movie can be really, really good, and the fact that it's going to be Godzilla and Kong hopefully working together, maybe some backstory, some just building on this universe is something that a lot of people didn't want to see. I'm not going to point them out right now, but people didn't buy into this universe. But guess what? We're here at number 5. It's happening, whether you want to or not. And we're going to be there front day one to see this movie. And if they do it the right way, this could be a really, really crowd-pleasing movie. And as you see, it's at number 2 on my list. I'm most intrigued about the, what's his name, Scarface? Scar King. It is Scarface. Anyways, either way, Scar King is definitely what I'm most excited for in this movie. We know we're going to get from Kong. We know we're going to get from Godzilla. Now, the Gauntlet on Kong's hand, I'm very excited to see what that is. But yeah, I'm really excited for it.
So number 2 on my list, which I'm sure is Jake's number 1, is Ballerina.
Yep.
This is continuing the John Wick saga. As you know, the John Wick universe has just been flawless. It really has been. The first one's great. Second one, maybe the best one. Third one's amazing. Fourth one, probably the best. I mean, they haven't gone wrong yet, which scares me because they keep doing more movies. But at the end of the day, these movies really value the action, the characters, the story. They really care about the fans. So until I'm proven wrong, these movies, I'm always going to be excited for them. Until they prove me wrong. They haven't done us wrong yet. So I'm really excited with this movie. The cast looks very good. The main actress looks like she's going to be very good. And I just found out that there's Norman Reedus is in this movie, which I did not know. And if you know me, I'm a big Walking Dead fan, big Daryl fan. So I am very excited to see what he's going to be doing in this movie. But yeah, this is going to hopefully be really good, expand the lore, have another movie with John Wick, and just expanding the lore in this universe is just something I'm so excited for. And yeah, what else can I say? I'm so excited for this movie. It's at number 2, only behind one other movie that cannot be topped. Ballerina is number 2 on my list.
Finally, at number 1 on my list of most anticipated movies of 2024 is Ballerina. This is the 5th addition to the John Wick universe, the John Wick franchise, whatever you want to call it. And I'm really excited for this. Every single movie in this universe before has just been an absolute fan pleaser, and it builds off what the previous movie did. And there's not much knowledge to the main actress in this movie, but it looks like she's going to be really, really good in the role. The poster looks, if it's an actual official poster, it looks pretty good. A big addition to this movie is the fact that John Wick's supposed to be back, which is, I mean, as you know us, we're huge John Wick fans. Now, I'll be really let down if it's not a long scene, because again, this is her movie. I think her name is Ana de Armas. Hopefully I pronounced that right. They kind of touched on this aspect to the world, I believe, in John Wick 3. What was it? John Wick 3 when
ripping their toenails off?
Yeah, well, I don't want to think about that, but again, this world has so many different avenues that they've not explored, and they still haven't even talked. They really have not even shown this whole high table stuff. They always talk about it as if it's something above where they are and what they're fighting for. But yeah, this universe is one of my favorite universes right now, especially right now. and I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this. And I believe this takes place between John Wick 3 and John Wick 4. But yeah, Ballerina, I've not seen anything but this supposedly a real poster for the movie, and this has all the potential to be the best movie of the entire year. And as long as they continue to just do what the previous movies did in this universe, I don't see how this movie could possibly fail. So yeah, I'm all in for any kind of spin-off from this world. But Ballerina for me is just one that I'm most looking forward to, because in the last few years, almost my entire life, I've never had more fun in a movie than John Wick 4. And I've not been let down by this universe, knock on wood. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this one. And the cast is phenomenal. This movie has all the makings to be an absolute classic. So really looking forward to Ballerina. And that is why it is at number 1 on my list of most anticipated movies of 2024.
So number 1 on my list is Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. I have watched the teaser trailer so many times, but now to this point I've watched the new trailer over and over again. You know, I've done videos on the channel. I am so excited for this movie. Nothing could possibly top this, but I'm so excited for this movie. I love the monster movies in general. And like Jake was saying, a lot of people hate these movies. People have hated the Pacific Rim movies that I've loved. And people continue to hate these movies, but they still keep making money, and so they're still going to keep making them as long as they keep making money. And these movies really do know how to please the fans. I mean, Godzilla vs. Kong gave you what you wanted to see. It was monsters fighting each other, Godzilla and Kong fighting each other. Absolutely top-notch CGI, top-notch fight scenes. That's what you go to these movies to see. You go to them to be entertained. That's what you get. And in this movie, it looks like we get just a lot of kaiju action. Hopefully we get a lot of new monsters in this. I love the MonsterVerse in general. It's really the only universe we have left as far as the monsters go, because Pacific Rim might not be continuing. But yeah, there's no doubt my most anticipated. Scar King looks like an amazing villain. It looks like this could be a very emotional movie with different things happening. But yeah, for sure, Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire is my most anticipated movie. Can't wait for it. And it comes out in just a couple months. So that was our top 5 most anticipated movies of 2024. There's a lot of, I don't know, this seems like it's going to be a down year for movies. I hope I'm wrong. Last year was, yeah, that's true. That's true. It is a rebuilding year, kind of. Just last year was such a good year for movies that you kind of expect to have a down year. Hope I'm wrong. Hope there's a lot of sleeper movies that are better than I thought.
Thanks for watching, guys. Our most anticipated, top 5 most anticipated movies of 2024. Let us know in the comments what your top 5 movies are for this coming year. And is there any that we did not mention, or any that you believe that we should see? Definitely thanks for watching, guys. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.